I mean, I'm pretty excited about today. I know Holden and I have been chatting for the last few weeks, and finally we get a chance to share the couch and really tell our stories, because I think we both got pretty cool stories, backgrounds of how we end up into entrepreneurship, business ownership. So I guess, Holden, starting with you, give us how does your story start and where you came right now?
Yeah, so I was 12 years old. It was my 6th grade year of middle school. It was right when COVID-19 literally came in. It was that March of 2020. And I was always bored. I literally had so much time on my hands. I was at Holly Grove, and we got out of school for those 5 weeks, I believe, when they announced it. So I had so much time on my hands.
Quarantined?
Yeah, pretty much. And I've never really been a video games guy, but my mind has always been kind of creative thinking and wanting to do the next idea. So I started researching kind of popular businesses to start, I guess. It was it's kind of corny to say, but that's literally what I wanted to do, just start a business.
So were you doing stuff to kind of make money at a young age? You know, you hear the stories about people going out and washing cars or raking leaves, stuff like that.
Well, I used to take literally items in our house and I'd set them up in a yard sale in our driveway, and I would just sell my family's items without their permission, first of all. And just like, I've always just wanted to hustle and grind, and I've always loved that idea of making a sale. So I started researching business ideas, and one thing at the time was print on demand and that t-shirt kind of hoodie industry. And that's how Cool So Cool started. It was t-shirts and hoodies. And that was in 2020.
It's amazing, you know, when you're a young kid and you start turning on that entrepreneurial mind, you don't even realize that you're doing it at the time. But like you said, the excitement of selling something and, you know, making your own money at a young age, you know, you feel like you're rich when you made like $5 doing something.
That was exactly how I felt. Even just launching the website, launching Cool So Cool, and taking this step, getting the LLC. I felt like I was on top of the world the moment I did that. I mean, I got the lawyer all myself. My parents gave me the initial $500 to start it. And I took that. I paid that back a way long time ago, but that was like the first step. Get that LLC. We wanted to do everything by the book. A lot of other kids, they start the businesses and they don't go by the book, but I had a goal and I had a vision. I said, I want to make this legit.
Sure.
And kind of starting off legit, I think, has led us to the success that we've had today.
So what did you do in the initial phases when you were first making t-shirts? Was it, you know, you were buying cheap t-shirts from a local store and doing prints on? Like, how did that all start?
Yeah, so we're in print on demand. So we basically outsource it. So we have suppliers in local areas that basically print it, package it, all that. And we basically are the ones who pick out what fabric we want to use, what designs we want to do. So I was literally researching the samples, figuring out what fabrics I like, what quality, what price points, and then putting the design on that. And at the time, I didn't have a budget to outsource designs and have the design team that I have today. So I was creating all the designs in Canva. And it was basically Cool So Cool, and it was beachwear, and that was the start of it. I was basically designing just this simple, cheap beach t-shirts. That's pretty much.
Do you remember your first sale? Like, who was the first person that bought the initial t-shirt or Coastal Cool item?
It was my next door neighbor, and she bought the tank top, t-shirt, and hoodie. I think she was my biggest order for like that week. I think it was like $150. But she bought all the designs pretty much that we had, because we started off small. And now we've got a huge catalog, which still kind of overwhelms me. But, you know, we started off just like really small, humble, with just a few designs, just really getting that name out there.
It's normally the friends and family that started. So, you know, it's funny. I talked to a girl locally in Holly Springs area a few weeks ago, and she didn't even know that she was our first paying customer. I don't think I ever took the time to tell her. We're talking in an interview, and I was like, you know what? I don't ever think I let you know that you were my first ever paying customer back in the day, because we did like a test launch where we put this product out to like 30 people in North Carolina. And she was the first one that says, you know what, Mark, I love this product so much, sign me up. And she was our first subscriber.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, you know, for myself, you know, obviously I wasn't 13, you know, when I started my company. And honestly, I didn't ever think that I'd get into business ownership. I guess looking back, you start realizing, okay, I had that entrepreneurial thing that happened to me also, because I was out doing things back in Ireland to just make money. It could be mowing lawns or, you know, the hustle, right? I'll never forget, like back at Christmas time, me and buddies used to go around and pick the holly, you know, the prickly holly with the red berries on it. And we bunch them up and we go to the doors and knock on the doors to sell them.
You want to buy this?
Yeah, you want to buy it. So,
that's
I mean,
the grind.
It's the grind. It's the initial hustle that eventually, if you can learn how to, you know, tune that into something when you get older.
Yeah, definitely. That was with me. I mean, I was always thinking, I was so interested in social media, literally from, I think I made an Instagram account when I was like 9 years old, and I started learning just the power of marketing and how you can get a product or a service out to people.
Yep.
And I think honestly, starting so young and having parents that would allow me to explore these different things when most kids weren't allowed me to be sitting here with you today.
Yeah,
I mean, really, I opened myself to kind of an era of new technologies right when it was on the rise. And it obviously it's a lot of hard work, but like I hit kind of the e-commerce industry at a right time, I'd say, with COVID and being at home.
People were shopping online more than ever. Yeah.
And the resources that came out because of that were absolutely incredible. You can build a business at home. You don't have to be on site anywhere for the industry that I'm in. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And all those resources were online, out and ready to take advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest difference, in our age difference, you're what, 17 now, Holden, which is crazy. You're at this point already, but I'm 44 and I'm kind of doing it backwards, right? So I'm having to start the social media and really build up followers and learn
that's
those
our
parts.
generation. Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wish that I was starting all over again, at a younger age and at that age where you kind of know how to work social media. Your demographic was your friends, your family.
Yep.
For me, it's kind of working a little backwards in that sense, but we had background. I mean, we knew what we were doing from a standpoint of air filtration and air conditioning because we had the mechanical company.
Yeah.
For us, it was just, all right, how do we turn this over into the residential market?
Yeah.
And it was kind of similar to your story during COVID, right?
Yep.
We serviced lots of businesses in North Carolina, right? But when COVID hit, they all shut down.
Yeah.
And they just stopped operating for the most part. So, one, we had a lot of time to sit and think.
Probably a lot of inventory too,
yeah,
right? You're
exactly,
stuck with a lot. Yeah.
But then, you had customers, I'll never forget, it was a year prior to COVID where one of our suppliers of air filtration was saying, hey, Mark, we've got this new, healthier antimicrobial filter that we want to try it with you. And we tested it and we just couldn't get anyone to buy into it.
Yeah.
A year later, obviously, we start getting the calls from our customers. Hey, have you got anything better?
Yeah.
Air filtration?
More quality,
like,
yeah.
You know what? Actually, it just so happens I do. And then that's when the light bulb went off for me. I was like, all right, we have to find out a way to make a product that we can get to the homeowner.
Yeah.
Because one, they're spending more time at home.
Yeah.
They're more in tune with their indoor air quality than they've ever been before because of the COVID crisis and the pandemic. But man, people thought we were nuts starting a brand new business in the middle of a pandemic, but it's back
and
to...
look at where you guys are now.
Yeah,
I mean, and that was another thing. Like I felt like there are a lot of people, and it's sad to say, a lot of people struggled during COVID, as you can see why.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's at home, everyone's losing their minds, they're stuck in their room. But then a lot of people, I think you and me, we strived and we utilized that time off instead of sitting on our butts. We did something with that and we made an impact. We're both in the sustainable, eco-friendly industry. So we're literally giving back while making a profit at the same time, which it's a win-win. And especially in today's world, I think that's the way that businesses should operate.
Yep. And it's probably back to what your mentality is. When you have that hustle mentality, you'll do whatever it takes, whether to grow, to earn, to sell. I mean,
you'll do what it takes.
You do what it takes. I mean, I've got a family now, 3 kids, and whenever we want something extra, I've got other means to get it. Whether it's a side hustle, a DJN, you just got that way to turn it on. You know what? I know how to make extra money. Let me go get it so we can go somewhere nice. Well,
that's how I am. I'm just, and I hate to say it, and this is something I'm trying to overcome. I'm never satisfied.
Yeah.
Like I'm never satisfied. My mind is always thinking about how can I do this better? How can I 10x it?
Yeah.
How can I make this design look better? How can I make this graphic perform better? Like I'm never satisfied. And I think that's common for business owners. Is that for you?
It is. Mean, you never switch off. The brain's constantly ticking.
Yeah.
And I always used to joke to my wife, like, I think I've got ADHD or something going on.
Like,
I never stop thinking, you know? And it's one of the things. My dad, unfortunately, passed away this year, but I'll never forget a comment that he made to me years ago was, you're such a great thinker, and it is. When you put yourself in that mode where you're constantly thinking, it has elevated me to the position I am today.
Pushes you in a different situation.
I own companies. I have managed people.
Yep.
You don't get to that level if you're not the thinker of the group. You're the one that knows how to solve the problem. So.
And that's what stands you out between being the employee and working from somebody else and being the one that's actually making the change.
Yeah.
But then I thought when I first started my business that I could do it all. Yep. I thought, hey, I can manage the finances. I can do the designs. I can do the marketing.
Yep.
And trust me, I do the designs and I do the marketing, but I realized there's certain things that I can't do.
Yep.
Certain things. And that's why the print on demand industry was so powerful for Coastal Cool, is I wanted to focus on marketing, getting my product to the people, while people who know production, fulfillment, creating the fabrics, doing all that can do their thing and let them shine. And obviously we take a cut out of our margins to do that, but it's a win-win situation. I'm able to build a business and focus on what I enjoy, and they're able to build their business and focus on what they enjoy while both are making a profit.
So you don't have the typical model where you have to have this tons of inventory,
We
just
don't have
sitting in a
anything.
warehouse ready for shipments. You know,
Yeah.
yours is more kind of specialized on demand, ordering and purchasing.
Yeah, so anybody that goes to our website, they find their design. So all those products are technically not real.
Yeah.
It's just a blank white or black, just plain design. And it's just sitting there in our supplier's warehouse. And the moment that order comes in, it sends a code in. That design is printed off of the website where we use Shopify for our back end. You're probably familiar with it.
Yep. We use it too, actually.
Yeah. And it's printed and it's packaged and it's shipped and it's there to you within 3 to 5 days. The turnaround time is normally about 7 days, which I'm super happy about.
Yeah.
During the summer, it's a little longer because the demand for our swimwear products, especially here in North Carolina. But other than that, it's really cool to see the process from having somebody on our website to buying it to the product actually being made hands-on rather than just sitting there and then actually shipped to the customer.
And we have something similar. I mean, we do keep inventory for ours because we ship, on a subscription model
so you have to
homes, so we have to.
Yep.
But one of the key points for us when we were launching the business, again during the pandemic, we had tests done from overseas. Foreign countries were making prototypes for us, but I just didn't want to have that fear of inventory getting stuck.
Scary.
Back then it was containers were on the news getting stuck in the ocean.
Yep.
I was like, imagine that's my product, and I just spent thousands of dollars, and it's there and not with me,
and not to your customer.
and that's our customers. So we ended up just pausing for a while. We slowed everything down, and we made a pact to make it in the US.
Yeah.
We bought all our equipment. We have our own equipment here at our warehouse in Garner, North Carolina, and it's similar to yours. Whenever an order comes in, we do have some inventory, but if it's an odd size, we can run in the back, switch on the machines, make
That's
it,
awesome.
and
That's
it's
the way to
shipping
go.
the same day.
Yep. And I think that's the trends of where businesses are headed nowadays. I think especially with a lot of the workforce too, it's a lot of freelance stuff rather than having somebody actually there. People are outsourcing, whether it's their marketing, whether it's their stuff. I do a lot of freelance marketing for people on the side. Besides Coastal Cool, taking what I've learned, growing the brand to where we are today, doing it for other businesses. And they outsource me when they need the stuff done.
Gotcha.
But I think that's the way a lot of businesses are headed. Rather than having somebody actually on the payroll, they pay when they need them. And there's a lot of pros and cons to that, I'd say, especially when you make a career of it. But there's a lot of people that I think businesses are headed that way. So.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess the age of COVID and everything else has kind of
Changed it,
changed it a lot because people were doing all kinds of work from home, not just starting new businesses. But yeah, we have a bit of both. Obviously the mechanical company we have 15, 16 staff.
Okay.
And it's fun, it's challenging, but there's a lot of different personalities
Yeah.
to deal with. And then on the flip side, the Filters Direct USA is a little bit more streamlined and easier to manage.
Yeah.
But what would you say is like the biggest struggle for you as far as marketing goes? Is there one platform that's more difficult than the other, or one you enjoy working with more than
I'd
the other?
say dealing with Meta, Instagram, and Facebook, that collaboration has been our biggest sales channel. It is our biggest sales channel. And that was the one thing that I was kind of brought upon at such a young age, where I actually learned Instagram and I learned dealing with Facebook, being introduced to that stuff so young. So I knew what I was doing when I got into this industry. So I'd say Instagram and Facebook were probably the ones that I'd support the most. We do zero paid advertising in the sense of Facebook and
That's still
Instagram
amazing.
ads.
Anytime I've heard you saying that, it's crazy to me, the fact that it's successful with no paid advertising.
We've done zero paid advertising. And you could say we do paid advertising when we pay our influencers.
Sure.
But that marketing reach that they're getting from their platform onto ours, especially the people in the same niche, has been truly remarkable for the brand of Coastal Cool and our social outlets. I think we're at over 150,000 followers across platforms.
That's awesome.
And our engagement is pretty good. Each of our influencers loves working with us, loves the product, which makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And then seeing the impact that we're making with our collaboration with Tidy. This is the contract that we signed in April to remove the ocean plastic.
Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting.
And it's been super cool to see not only them doing the work, but us having the impact and sharing their name, sharing our name, working with these influencers to promote this mission and just our product and just the brand. And honestly, it's worked out really well.
Because yours is similar to us. Our product is made from recycled plastic bottles and similar
And
with
same
yours.
to ours, yep.
Both of ours are around 80, 90% of our product.
Yep.
Which is great. I mean, it's something we probably should tap into more because There's not that many that's out there really actively
I've never
doing
heard of
it.
that. Yeah.
You know, when we went down our path, it was about an eco-friendly way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, but then you tie in what the actual filter is made from as well.
Yeah.
Our frame, the invention that we made was, how do we make something that's just less waste?
Yeah.
You know, the average homeowner will buy a filter and they just toss
it out.
And there's so much waste involved with
Yeah.
it. So ours was just kind of taking in another direction. But when we started, I mean, obviously, I'm on social medias. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. Not as much as I probably should be, but I'll never forget. It was a weekend where I'd posted a TikTok video.
Yeah.
You know, we launched the TikTok page, and at that point, we were only shipping to homes in North Carolina. Like, we had the ability to go out of state, but hadn't got any customers yet.
Yeah. That was us. That was us.
I did one video, right? And I was actually DJing that weekend. And the phone just starts going bing, 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 you know, all the comments on the TikTok video of me just burning a filter. And then, you know, I had one of my guys at the shop put me out with a fire extinguisher. Man, after that weekend, we got Texas, California.
Oh, I bet.
You know,
that's the power
Nevada, just customers from random states that we'd never marketed to, never spent any marketing funds on.
That's the power of direct to consumer right there. And I would never change anything with that industry. I think it's the way we're headed. And once again, pros and cons.
Yeah.
But that idea of just where you can order something and just have it to you. And that's the hard thing, competing with Amazon. My turnaround time is a lot difficult than in changing with shipping times, production times. Amazon's same
competing
day.
with the big dogs that want to get you to it next day or even something. They can get it same day.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's the struggle. My stuff is printed there. It's made there. It's made when an order comes in. I just don't have it sitting there. But the customers also understand that, and the impact that we're doing and the mission that we have kind of backs it up.
Sure.
So,
they're willing to let that delay happen because they're in with a bigger cause than just the big box stores.
So would you say for you, when you're marketing your product, which sales channel or social media thing has been the best for you?
Probably Facebook. You know, the demographic for our product. Like, you know, interesting story. When we first launched, it was a home show in downtown Raleigh. It was the first show we ever did, and we set up a booth and we had the product out on display. You know, and me being in the air conditioning industry, I thought the guys are going to be the ones to stop and go, "Oh, look at this cool new air filter!" Right? Yeah. And the reality was, it's not a sexy product. Nobody gives a crap, you know, for the most part. So it's a harder sale. But we always thought it was the guy in the house because he's the one changing the filters. And at the show, they'd walk by, and then the wife would stop, and she would pull him back and go, "Hey, honey, this is a healthier thing for the home. Come check this out."
Yeah.
And then that was the light bulb moment for us. Like, okay, now our demographic is not just, you know, mid-25s to, you know, 55.
Got a broad range.
It's the female in the home now for the most part.
Yeah.
And it really was, who is the shopping list person? Who buys the shop?
Yeah, who's doing the
groceries?
Shopping?
Yeah. Because even at the show, we didn't think anyone would know there are filter sizes in the home, right? So we're saying, all right, take this card when you get home, look it up and sign up online. And the wife was like, "No, I know it." And she pulled out her phone and she had the notes on her phone of what sizes she had. And so that was the moment for us, like, okay, that's my target audience.
Yeah.
We are going after the female in the home who are mostly on Facebook for the most part, and Instagram obviously as well. But for you, obviously, you've got, you know, TikTok, which the younger generation.
We don't do a lot on there,
man. You're not really?
Yeah, we really do not. I haven't been, like, I was never really in that group of people that was really invested in TikTok. I never had that. Yeah. Because when COVID happened, that was when TikTok really blew up.
Yeah.
And I just never clicked with it.
Yeah.
Now I clicked with Instagram and Facebook. Do I wish I clicked with TikTok and kind of understanding that stuff? And
never too late. Never too late.
Yeah, and it's just my opinion of it has always been the stupid dance videos.
Yeah.
But then those things have been created remarkable audiences for a lot of brands.
I think, for us it was like understanding how to use each platform, right? You know, the TikTok is, if you don't capture them in 5 seconds, that's
the issue. And for me, it's showcasing the product, showcasing the fabric. We really want to show what our product is doing, how our product feels. And 5 to 10 seconds normally hasn't been enough for us. And the viral content is the short stuff. So we're constantly figuring that out. And that's when our influencers come into place, because they know what works. And they'll post 1 million times to just make it the perfect video.
Yeah.
They fix themselves up. They change how the product looks, how they do this. Like, they're actively wanting to make it look good.
Yep.
And they kind of take that job for me. So, and I appreciate it. And we pay for that, but
see, I mean, I keep thinking, you know, as I'm putting efforts into TikTok videos, like, I wish I had a better product, you know, to market to this generation, you know, the younger generation. Because again, the selling air filters is never going to be sexy. It's never an easy sale because it's a chore, right? it's an item in the home that people are just not excited about, you know?
Yeah, but
So for us,
I think the marketing approach, like when I saw your packaging and I saw the logo, I think
Yeah.
it's really cool. That pop of green, that's actually the filter.
Yeah, yeah.
If you market it the right way and you're doing some funky colors, maybe some cool like retro theme, I think that would really kind of catch the customer's eye.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think you got a strong brand palette. I think you got a cool kind of guideline that you're going for. And I think if you really push that in the marketing, I think it will catch the youth. I mean, because it's the vibrant stuff that catches. I mean, in our bathing suit, you
Yeah.
got the color pops, you got all that stuff, and it catches kids like my age to buy. So.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, I think for us, we had so many different things that were key points of our product and our service,
Yeah.
right? You had the eco-friendly part of it. You had it was made from plastic bottles. It's a healthier filter.
Yep.
It's a subscription service. It's a reminder when it arrives.
Which
I think
is awesome.
we've kind of got so many different things that we're maybe getting lost in too many.
That's where we're
instead
at.
of honing in and go, all right, you know,
gotta
I got to
focus.
just focus in and
Lock in.
funnel in on just what is the main one.
Yep.
And some of that comes from trying to figure out, okay, why did the customer buy? Like, why are we shipping to 32 states in the U.S.? Why did they all purchase?
Yeah.
You know, for us, I think they're all doing it for different reasons, which
Yeah.
is, you know, not the tough part for us to just double down or 10x
Yeah.
one avenue, you know.
And that's been kind of for us too. A lot of people have bought the bathing suits to match with their partner or whatever. A lot have just bought it for vacations. A lot have bought it as gifts. But it's like, as a business owner, I really want to see what's doing really well. And then I'll focus it on that. Like if we're selling Christmas gifts like it's nothing and these discounts are really doing well on our site, these promotions are using, let's lock in on that and really focus on that for the season. If the couples bathing suits are doing better than just the single sets that you could buy for your own, let's focus on that, right?
Yeah.
Kind of follow, it's pretty much following the money. And I'm learning that as years go on with this business, because my industry is fashion. You can have anything from shoes, tops, hats, everything. It's all over the place.
And you went from just obviously the t-shirts in the early days to
complete different.
a full arsenal of stuff now.
Pretty much. And that was the thing. Like we never started out with like a mission. We never said when I first started, I was like, man, I want to make fabrics from recycled plastic bottles. That was never my thought when I was young.
Yeah.
But then becoming a business over time, I was like, hey, I want to make an impact. I want to create a quality product. I want to be a part of the change as a business owner, and especially being a young entrepreneur.
Yep.
And another struggle for me was competing against the big guys. And a lot of the big guys aren't doing sustainable and eco-friendly fabrics.
Yep.
They're the direct-to-consumer fast fashion companies that it's a lot cheaper and it gets to you a lot faster, but there's no quality.
Sure.
It doesn't last. And that was one thing I really wanted to create, a product that felt good, that looks good, and that made an impact.
Sure.
And that was kind of the rebrand for Coastal Cool in 2022. And then from now on, it's been where I am today.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, for us, we wanted to do something healthier. I mean, we were already in the air conditioning field.
Yeah.
We were doing healthy stuff for the retail space, restaurants, and a lot of public and charter schools. So, you know, when we thought about it, like we're providing a filter for our kids, my kids that are in schools.
Yeah.
You know, every day they go in and they study, faculty study. We're the ones that's creating a healthier indoor, you know, quality for them. How can I do that for the home?
Yeah.
How can I bring it from the facility back to the house?
And now you got a completely new sales
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
And that's the stuff. Like it's almost kind of the stupid stuff that will get you thinking. And it's like, oh wow, that might be our avenue. And that was honestly what happened with Coastal Cool. Is we started off as t-shirts and hoodies, and it was just a simple idea that I was like, hey, let's make an impact. And then it was kind of just right time, right place, right connection, figuring out the right fabrics, figuring out that next step, and actually just taking the risk. And we took a risk to rebrand, and I'm forever grateful that we did, because
awesome.
I wouldn't be sitting here. So
yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, you know, we probably 2-3 years into it now, but going from when we first started as an idea, and I remember when I first had the concept, you know, what I wanted to do, I'm like doing, you know, sketches, but I was always into like 3D design, and I thought I was going to be an architect at one point. But now I'm doing sketches and I'm doing models, and you know, I couldn't stop thinking about how can I make this frame that just opens and closes so the filter drops in. You don't even have to touch it, you know, because again, but that healthy aspect, I don't want a homeowner to have to take that dirty filter out with their fingers. So we did ours on a pizza box.
Okay.
You know, all my prototypes were just cutting out of a pizza box.
so cool. I see that's the story that needs to be highlighted.
Yeah.
Taking it from this to that. So like, what's the manufacturing process for you? How do you create one of those?
So, you know, we do it out of plastic. So the frame itself is made from plastic.
Okay.
We order in the raw material, plastic sheets, and then we have a CO2 laser that cuts it flat at our facility in Garner, and we cut any size, doesn't matter what it is. And then we do all the manufacturing in-house.
So cool.
We kind of do all the folding, all the bending, and make the final plastic pizza box,
Yeah.
if you will, you know.
That's freaking
But
awesome.
I mean, it's crazy to go. It took us about a year to go through that whole phase around how do we do it ourselves, because we were outsourcing for a while, but we had so many obstacles along the way, like problems with inventory, with
Shipping
material
times.
coming wrong, shipping times, and then the biggest thing for us was cost. You know,
Trust
we
me,
were at a
tell me
point
about
where
it.
we weren't even profitable in the first or second order, so we
Yep.
had to get a customer 3-4 orders down.
Yep.
I was like, "Oh, this is crazy. We've got to just save some money and buy our own equipment," and that's what we did. But you know, going from there to now, you know, earlier this year we auditioned for Shark Tank in Las Vegas.
Awesome.
I mean, it was just a crazy experience.
That's
I'll
just-
probably try it again. You know?
That's just to say you did that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's an accomplishment right there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It was crazy to be there in that room with all these other entrepreneurs
I
and
bet.
inventors. You know, and
Probably
some,
learned a lot too.
yeah, and I met a lot of people from it. So we're
Yeah.
still connected on Instagram afterwards and kind of sharing where we are in our journey and tips and tricks along the way.
Yeah.
Which is something I've always wanted to do. It's kind of probably what led me to like surrounding yourself with other
right
people, with
people.
like-minded people
Yep.
that are struggling the same way you are, or just got some good ideas.
Yeah,
You know,
and-
we
and
all grow with each other. type
And that's
thing.
what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to share the story, being a young entrepreneur and connecting. And I want a lot of kids my age, being 17, to realize like there's nothing wrong with reaching out to an adult.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong without reaching to somebody that's higher up than you with experience and with knowledge. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
And the people that want other people to succeed, and the most successful people, will always help the people
Yeah.
below. That's one thing I've noticed. A lot of people have helped me get to where I am today. It's been a lot of hard work, but it's been the connections.
Yep, yep.
And it's really, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one person that will take you to the next step and lead you to that next business, lead you to that next idea. And it takes a group of people to create something that's pretty good.
And
So,
if you get a group that's comfortable sharing and helping you
thinks-
grow and
yes.
thinking similar, I mean, you know, in my other mechanical business, this past year has been just a transformation because you kind of broaden your mind out and are sitting with the right people that have done it before, can give you some good ideas, so you can step away from it a little bit and go, yeah, I need to change the way I'm doing that. I know it's working, but it's not smooth.
Yeah.
You know.
And I've noticed, like with my design team, they've been like, hey, so we do a freelance design team. We outsource them when we need the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they've mentioned a lot like, hey, that color isn't going to catch the customers' eye like that color. And I'm like, yeah, but I like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a business owner, it's not what you like, it's what the customer is actually willing to buy. And that was one of my biggest mistakes when I first started. I was designing stuff based on what I wanted rather than what was actually needing and what was actually going to sell.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I've learned over time, and I bet you've done that too, and you've dealt with that. And
Oh, yeah.
I've wasted a lot of time and a lot of money creating something for myself rather than something that people would actually buy.
You get stuck on perfection so much, you know, where you don't
You're
even
you're never satisfied. You're stuck.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. Like you as a young entrepreneur, I mean, I'm trying to do it with my kids. You know, my son Connor's 15.
Yeah.
Even just as an early age, you know, obviously they're always into something. Everything is the next money on
The
this.
next trend, the next phone, the
Yeah,
next- yep.
exactly. It's so expensive. And, you know, we start them early. Well, all right, how do we make it where you can go and make some money?
Yeah.
You know, we had this thing, you know, a couple of summers ago where we got one of these, you know, these toddler carts you can hook onto the back of a bike.
Yeah.
So I reached out to one of the neighbors, and anyone got one of these toddler bikes that they're not using anymore? And one of my neighbors like, yeah, it's been sitting in the garage. The kids are old. We don't use it anymore. It's like, all right, give me it over. So I brought it into the shop. You know, again, we got manufacturing capabilities, and I built a car wash box
Oh my gosh.
Brought it back.
That's epic.
with my son, hooked it on the back of his bike, and him and his buddy went out and washed cars. I mean, $10 a pop. Just the entrepreneurial, you know,
That's the grind.
grind of it. There was people out there that were paying $100 to wash 2 cars.
Yeah.
You know, it was way more than they should have paid for
Yeah.
a couple of car washes, but it was because of, all right, these 2 kids are coming out and they're doing it themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they're coming out
That's the
and trying to
story.
make their own money. I love it. I love it, and I'm gonna pay, you know, extra for them to go wash my cars.
And I think that's what we lack a lot of days. Nobody actually wants to go out there and work and actually do something because I think everything is supposed to be handed to them rather than just actually putting your hands in, doing it, take that risk, and worst case scenario, it fails.
Yep.
You got a lifelong to figure out new ideas, do new things, try new things. So, and that was one thing I never let hold me back. I had an idea and I went with it,
Yep.
and I'm grateful that I did. But a lot of people don't think that way, and I think that's a struggle.
Yeah.
I really do.
I mean, it's reassuring though to show the younger kids and the youth that, you know, in your case, you can have a business, you can grow a business without, you know, going to college. Not that it's a bad thing, because, you know, I would encourage everyone if they could to go to college, but
Get an
you
education,
know,
absolutely.
yeah, some kids that are fearful, if I don't get into college, my life is ruined.
Yeah.
You know, how can I survive? you just never know. I never went to college, you know, but
And look
here
at
I
where
am. You know?
look at what you've
It's
built.
just it can work either way. Is my point.
Well, that's the culture. Like in my school right now, I've got a great GPA. I'm at a 4.0. I'm involved in clubs. I'm doing honors classes. I'm doing Wake Tech classes. I'm doing advanced classes, college classes. But like everybody's just so there's such a pressure on everybody. Oh, I got to go here. I got to do this. I got to do that, and they don't outweigh the other opportunities that they might have.
Yeah.
But they're so focused on this thing that they forget about the stuff that's right in front of them and the stuff that they could have in the present.
Yeah.
They're so worried about the future. And don't get me wrong, I'm constantly thinking about the future.
Yeah.
But it's like, at what point do you also start to appreciate the stuff that you have now?
Deny. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's okay to think ahead, but don't get so hung up on it because you just don't know where
And
the
don't let it
path
stress
takes you.
you.
Yeah.
Don't let it stress
I could
you.
never foresee where I am today back then. You know, sometimes you just got to let the path take you in the direction that it's going to take you, you know?
Yep.
We never thought leaving Ireland. I mean, when we were back in Ireland, I had a decent job. I mean, me and my wife moved into our first place at 21.
When did you leave?
2007.
Okay.
So
that was right when I was born. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were 21, moved into our first place, had my daughter at 23. She's now almost 21 next week. And we just never thought we'd ever come to America. You know, we were just dabbling with it at the time. Decent jobs. Like, let's just go try it. Like, what is there to lose?
Take a risk.
Take a risk.
You move back.
And here we are, you know. So it's been a great journey.
Yeah. And that's one thing I tell everybody, just take that risk. Just go for it. And worst case scenario, you move back. Like, and that was one thing, like I'll figure out whatever school I go to, whatever school I pick, but worst case scenario is if I don't feel that click and I'm really not enjoying it, I'll find somewhere that I do and I'll test it out. I got one life to live. Utilize every opportunity.
That's a good point, though. You can always go backwards, right?
You can always go backwards.
We thought that too. The safety net was, hey, what if it doesn't work?
Go backwards.
Just go back home. You know, I can walk back into what I was doing before, but you know, maybe the forward motion is going to lead to something better.
And be adaptable to change. That's one thing I'm still learning this, and I'm thinking I'm getting better at it. And once again, it's hard because I'm 17. I do the high school stuff. I have the high school life, but then I've got the work life. And I flip on, and it's like business.
How do you
mode.
balance both of those? That's crazy to me how you're doing both. I mean, can you give us a little insight into how you balance both of that?
I'll tell you, sometimes I'm like pushing it. Like it's hard because I want to do I've never really had a friend group that I've clicked in just because my mind has been over here and they're over here. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think I was raised differently. I think I was born differently in the sense of the thoughts that have been in my head and the creative stuff.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong. I'm not better than anybody by that, but it separated me apart from normal kids my age. I've always felt out of place. The moment I went into school, I've always never really had a click. So I've learned to kind of do things alone. I've been independent, and I've pretty much wanted to do stuff independent my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's helped me out a lot, obviously building Coastal Cool and doing stuff, but I feel like I have missed out on a lot. But I also know this achievements that I've made, and I'm so grateful for them.
Sure.
So it's like, it once again, it's weighing out.
So you like sit in a class, but the whole time you're trying to study, your mind is on Coastal Cool.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's the thing. And I'm grateful because the majority of my teachers have been really supportive in actually letting me focus on, once I get my schoolwork done, hey, you can work on Coastal Cool. You got to take a phone call, go take it out, just be quick, right? And I'm forever thankful for that. But my mind has never been in the standardized way of doing stuff. You go to school, you do this, you get the job. I hate to say it, it's like my worst nightmare. I've always wanted to do something on my own and for myself.
I know, and I had kind of similar. What I was constantly wanting to be hustling and work.
Just
create. You know, so it was Monday through Friday. Then I'd be DJing on the weekends. You know,
That's
some
the
of it was
hustle.
the extra money that I wanted to keep the family, you know, thriving.
Yeah.
But you know, it was so much, and I think some of the things I've changed over the last couple of years is trying to slow it down and make more time for family. Like I've got all 3 kids at the house right now. That's not going to last for long.
And that's a gift.
It is. It's brilliant. I mean, my wife is really good at about taking us on vacations a lot, you know, and people think I'm crazy for how many I do, but there's a reason for it because my mind is so go all the time.
Good to relax.
This is the way to chill.
Yeah.
And one of the things I did earlier this year was go to the 4-day work week.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
And I wish they would implement that into school. I think a lot of kids are getting burnt out.
Yep.
I feel like sometimes I get burnt out. That was one thing during COVID. We had, when that kind of transition between going back into school, we had asynchronous days on Wednesdays. So you'd go Monday, Tuesday, you'd have Wednesday off. The teachers would have Wednesday off. You would do work remote. And then the other 2 days you go back. But it was just a moment in time to just break, relax, get your life together, and then finish out and finish out strong. and then you actually look forward to the weekend. I know a lot of people, and sometimes I don't even feel
They're too short.
Yeah. And I'm not excited. It's like, I just burn myself out, and it's like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay in bed.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not a way you should live life. So,
yeah, I mean, taking the Friday, for me, it was the Friday. All right, taking Friday off, and either I'm going to, be around people that are of like mind. That's my day to do that. So I'm still technically doing some work. But hey, maybe on a golf course or, but
hey,
it also
whatever gets it done.
allows for the long weekend, right? So if me and my wife and the kids want to take a long weekend, it doesn't disrupt the businesses, right? We're gone and we're back by Monday. So it's been great.
And you're prioritizing your health. That's one thing. The moment I started my business, I got super into fitness and working out, and it clears my mind, and it allows me to literally 10x whatever I do, whether that's schoolwork, whether that's my work life, whether that's dealing with friendships and hardships or whatever is that. It's been my alley of just getting my stress out, just getting my anger out, and just kind of crushing it. Cause I've never really been into sports or anything. I was good at them. I just never enjoyed them. I never clicked with it. I never clicked with that group. But working out and getting in the gym was my thing. I could hit my personal PRs. I'm pushing myself, right? And I'm actually benefiting myself rather than a group of people that some are putting in effort, some are not, right? Then the whole group gets the credit. I never could click with that. So
let me ask, do you read books, Holden?
Not really. And
that's funny.
I need to.
I don't think, it's probably more and more the generation than I are not reading as much. I was never a reader. I could never, and again, it may be back to that ADHD or just whether I have it or I don't have it, I don't know. But
I don't know either.
But the mind never switching off. I could never sit down and just read a whole book.
Yeah,
for years, my wife kept trying to tell me to do it. And I think I started with some of the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
I got into book 4, and I think it took me like 6 months.
That was,
and I looked at book 4, and it was like that thing. I was like, oh, hell no, I'm out, I'm done.
Yeah, the only series I think I've read a full set of is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And it was because there was pictures and sketches in it. And that was like
large text.
Yeah, large text. I mean, I have really clicked with the podcasts and listened to audios.
Yeah.
Because I can't really... I want to be doing something. I want to be moving. I want to be moving my hands. I need to be just constantly doing something. So when I'm listening to my podcast, I'm either cleaning. Sometimes I'll be in the gym when I'm listening to it. Sometimes I'll be driving. But it's that active movement, and that active movement actually inside my head that's allowed me to take information. Yeah. And as a business owner, you really have to know multitasking.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I think I let it stop me from growing by not reading, because people kept telling me for years, hey, Mark, if you want to improve your business, you need to read this, you need to read that. And I kept pushing it off because I didn't have the time to read. I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking, all right, I could listen to this when we're driving to Florida. Or, the kids are all killing each other in the backseat anyway. Let me just put on the AirPods and I can listen to this on the way. And that's what I did. So any of the books that I read, Profit First, Crushing It, Gary Vaynerchuk, it was all just audio.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were life-changing in my business anyway, books or audios.
Yeah.
So I definitely encourage, even if you don't like reading, just stick them in your ears and listen to it at least.
Yeah. I need to get into just like the right fit and the right niche. And I'm constantly learning that, like, where do I want to be? Where do the group that I actually want to be in, what do I actually really want to dive into? I know I love marketing. I know I love kind of business stuff, but what do I really want to focus on? And that's what I'm trying to figure out these next 2 years before whatever plan I take. Figuring out what I really want to closely do with my life. And then on after Coastal Cool, continue Coastal Cool, what is the next steps? So
back, the early parts of the story was, how did you create a new product? How did you go from business ownership to inventor?
Yeah.
And I knew what I wanted to do in my mind. I knew what the prototype kind of mentally looked like, but now I got to put it into an actual physical product.
Do it. Yeah.
And I just kept thinking about an opening and closing mechanism made out of something soft enough that the homeowner could handle. If it dropped out of the ceiling and hit them on the head, it's not going to friggin' gouge their head open. So our original concepts were kind of done on a pizza box.
Okay.
We had the air filter, right? So that we've always had the air filter itself.
Yeah.
But everything we were kind of drawing, it was cutting out of a pizza box. Cool. And the air filter then would be put inside. Yeah. But, back one of my early stories of how we got this to turn from a pizza box into the actual product. We took a pizza box into one of the main meetings that we had with a manufacturer here in North Carolina. These big engineers that make all kinds of plastic products. Yeah. And we go into this meeting and I walk in with a pizza box and what the hell? We didn't order no pizza, Yeah. But I brought it into the meeting, and me and my business partner Tim is my business partner. We walked into that meeting and we just showed the mess and said, how do we get this in plastic? I opened it up, flattened it down. I said, give me something like that. and then we'll figure out how to make it into the actual box itself. And that's how it started. I mean, the box pizza,
I love the color, by the way. That green
turned into this.
Would you say that's a teal or a green?
It's more teal. And
I'm liking it.
It's such a unique color. It's so hard to get. Like, it's hard to get T-shirts like that color. It's hard to get hats that color.
Well, that was our logo. So we went from a blue logo with Coastal Cool. It was kind of a teal color, then to black, because it was so hard to put on anything.
Yeah.
But I really do. I like it.
I mean, it's along that lane of, like, green, because we could have put a color. We had an orange one. We had a pink one at one point.
Very sturdy.
The green was just falling in with the whole eco-friendly, the healthy part of it. And that was our marketing path. Like, this is our color scheme. This is what we're rolling out.
Yeah.
And then we ended up doing like a bundle.
Okay.
There's obviously some people that don't want to do the whole subscription.
Yeah.
But this is more of a try before you buy scenario. So they have like a bundle package where they can buy one frame and a replacement filter. So we've got this going on a site called Grommet, and then doing a little bit of Amazon as well.
How have you seen kind of good traffic with Amazon? I mean, because I know Amazon does a lot of marketing within their own internal systems for certain businesses.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the nature of the beast. Holden, we're just starting with Amazon.
Yeah.
We're literally 2 weeks away. They've already got our product. We haven't launched the page yet, but it was one of those things for us. We're trying to market so broadly across the entire US with a product that's not that interesting.
Yeah.
We had to just be on every platform. You know, we had to be on socials. We had to, we have Shopify obviously, but we had to do so many things in the background to get that Google Analytics, that search optimization going, and Amazon. And it's like, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So we've got a certain inventory of product on Amazon, not the full scale or full array of it.
Yeah.
The goal for us is to pique the interest on Amazon and then lead them back to filtersdirectusa.com.
So. I mean, if you can have all the traffic on your own personal website, why give the traffic to them, right?
Yeah.
Give it to yourself, because, hey, they might find somebody else on Amazon and go with the competitor.
Yep.
What's really separating you and what's separating your marketing? And that would be finding you on your site with your information, with your graphics and everything.
Yep.
So
what about yours?
Yeah, so this is our Palm Ave collection, but that's our swim trunk fabric. So as you can see, it's got a mesh liner inside it. It's just a soft.
It feels really soft.
Really soft. It's made from 90% recycled polyester and then a 10% spandex mix.
So who comes up with all the designs, like the floral and the different kind of designs?
That's pretty much from our freelance design team. And a lot of it has been kind of just ideas that I've seen, like, hey, I kind of like this color scheme, take it to life.
Yeah.
And they do that, and we pay them based on design.
Gotcha. So where can people find your products? Where do they go to purchase right now?
So they can actually buy it on Instagram, our sales channel, Instagram or Facebook through Meta. You can buy our products. You can get it right shipped to your house, or www.coastalcool.co. Cool. You can find it right there. And turnaround time is about 7 days. Summer's really busy, obviously, because it's our business. So, but other than that, our turnaround time is really cool. So
that's awesome. Yep, and Filters Direct USA, it's filtersdirectusa.com. I mean, it's mostly subscriptions. You're going on there and you're committing to the program, right? So it's not just a one-off purchase.
Yeah.
You're basically saying, hey, I want to just purchase this, set it, and forget it.
Yeah.
And it arrives every 1, 2, or 3 months. So for us, the subscription model is really what we're trying to promote.
Yeah.
Because we know that homeowners don't remember to do this thing. Again, it's not an interest, but having it just come takes
I've never thought about that. I mean, that's the ideas that you got to think about. Do you guys sell on Instagram or Facebook, like through Meta? Because I know with Shopify, that was an easy transition over.
Yeah, we do a little bit, and we probably should do more. Yeah. We've always just focused on the social media part, directing them to the website, and then purchase there. But again, that's some of the stuff we got to learn from the younger generation.
Yeah, that's where we come in place.
Those things a little better.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, appreciate it, Holden. It was nice to meet you, and loved sharing our stories.
Yeah, thank you.